For years, the Native Americans have been afraid of these creatures. Even to this day, some say they've seen them. Some say it's a myth. But what is really going on at the mysterious Skinwalker Ranch? For eons, natives have reported bizarre happenings in the place that Skinwalker Ranch occupies. Nonetheless, the ranch becomes popular in strange American folklore when UFO reports started to appear like dandelions on Summerfield during the 1970s. In the United Basin, they flood they flooded the local press. They flooded the local press. Claims about the ranch as such not just the area. First appeared in 1996 in Salt Lake City, Utah, Desert News, and the next alternative weekly Las Vegas Mercury. A stirring of articles by investigative reporter George Knapp that extended on the area's odd-out occurrences. The story is detailed of families' claim experiences puzzling and hair-raising experience after they bought and moved into the property. Some have called it the supernatural hotspot of Bible Belt America. Others have labeled it the land as cursed. Terry Sherman and his wife Gwen were one of the first to speak about the weird narrow happenings in their newly acquired cattle ranch. It was 1996, and the family had finally settled after 18 months of growing pains in their new ranch in Utah. 18 months of beginning a photo shoot of Ghostbuster movie, Terry and Gwen shared the chilling experiences with the local reporter that broke the story. Some of their experiences were crop circles appearing out of the thin of air overnight. UFOs circling overhead like fireflies in the spring evening. The sky filled with unidentified flying saucers and shapes, cattle mutilation, systematic and repeated mutilation of their livestock. The animals cry open in an odd surgical and bloodless manner. The 3 months after the story's publication, Las Vegas estate titan and UFO lover Robert Winslow bought the property for $200,000. Under the name of the National Institute for Discovery Science, the Las Vegas Big Spot went all FBI property. FBI trying to capture a model family in Fragment. Winslow set up 24/7 surveillance cameras of the ranch. His goal: get proof of the supernatural on tape. The surveillance ultimately needed a book to hunt for the Skinwalker. Since the conference of Unexplained at a remote ranch in Utah. That is a loud bug. Must be right outside. Do I really want to do these videos in the basement? Not a lick of evidence was captured on film, but every researcher involved in the public claimed to have seen paranormal activity. The ranch was resold to Adamantium Real Estate, which was since applied to trademark the name Skinwalker Ranch. The Utah Basin of Eastern Utah, one of the most paranormal heavy places in the world. Locals have named the reason UFO Alley. and the sightings of little green men and their UEERs are a dime a dozen. And enthusiasts flock to the place like months to fame, and it is must pilgrimage for ET lovers. Can't throw a lot in rock in southern Utah without hitting somebody who's been abducted. The local filmmaker Trent Harris told the Desert News and Ground Zero, you guessed it, Skinwalker ran. I really, because of the whole 9/11 incident, I really hate when, not hate, but I feel uncomfortable when I say Ground Zero because if you all know what I mean. But anyway, but I guess it is different when you're talking about the paranormal and not New York. Odd and bizarre objects of UFOs have been zooming overhead since record time. In 1776, British mysterious missionary Silver Street Villes de Escalante wrote about strange firebombs popping over his campfire in LA Ray. Countless European explanations detailed numerous strange occurrences that take place in the region. Before conquistadors and eager manifestant destiny yanks, indigenous people that occupied the Utah basin passed down through oral retellings of the terrible tales of beings that were occupying the area. Warning: children should stay far away from the region. Mysterious large animals, in particular, a wolf 3 times the size of the normal Nubian hunts the perimeter. Terry managed to shot the creature multiple times with his rifle. The unruly beast merely shrugged the blows. Colin Keller and con author George Knapp of the former mentioned book described the poltergeist activity, Bigfoot sightings, crop circles, cattle manipulation, glowing orbs, and even humanoid beings marching about in large groups. They saw or investigating evidence of close to 100 incidences, and probably more by now. A lot of the information I found has been in the past, and the Skinwalker Ranch is still going. And I know I can never go there because it's private property and all that spaz. I really want to go there. Maybe I can get my dad to take me to go there. That'd be awesome. Thoughts are ticking. On the night of March 12th, 1997, a few months before I was born, after the ranch had been sold off, Marshman's Colum Keller, working the Migelows National Institute for Discovery Science, declared to have seen an amused humanoid being spun on the research team. The creature perched on a tree and spying on the crew. The only indication of the beast's presence was prickly yellow light and unblinking eyes as they stared fixated back into the light. Okay, that would creep me out. If I saw yellow glowing eyes, I will immediately think of a werewolf and get the F out of there. I'm like, nope, I'm out. Frightened, Keller grabbed a rifle and fired at the creature, then beginning to run away. Yeah, I wouldn't grab a rifle too, I won't lie. It was then that I saw it, a a single obvious oval track about 6 inches diameter, embodied deeply in the passage snow. It looked unusual, a single large print in the snow with 2 sharp claws protruding from the rear of the mark, going up to the inches deeper. It almost looked like a bird of prey, maybe a raptor print, but huge, far from the death imprint from heavy creature. Number 1, raptors are no longer here, but that's weird. Number 2, it be a werewolf. I'm seeing so many werewolf movies, horror and non-horror. It's a werewolf. Skinwalker in Nazovio. And by the way, if I pronounce anything wrong, I should have said this in the beginning, but I apologize in advance. In the Mazovio tribal folklore, are, to put it bluntly, the big bad that they constantly feared. They were and are shape-shifting creatures that can manifest as all manner of animals. Image of Image of werewolf on steroids, with cunning insight of Lex Luthor. Yeah, that would not be a good time. Unlike other shapeshifters in the world, where animals not only see or skinwalkers retains in their intelligence, which in turn makes them more deadly. The love, empathy, and compassion. Skinwalkers march the land and walk the blanket, blacken the soul of whoever sees them. They are a veiled creatures that partly due to the Soviet traditions and secretive nature. Few are aware of the Nizovio people, never discussed them, and mentioning them is considered a taboo subject. Skinwalkers in tribal folklore, either evil witches, warlocks, or eldritch beings from the time before man. Beings that were cast out, like fallen angels, when they sin against the laws of nature and other benevolent spirits. The name Skinwalker, uses the ranch reading cards, comes from not only the repeating sightings of human-like creatures similar to the Nasovio boogeyman, but also from the fact that the Yeti territory, who saw that orb? What? Hey, who saw that? Please tell me somebody saw that. I saw it in the last second. I'm gonna have that light on more often. That's not a bug. There's no bugs here. And why does my screen keep getting dark and light? That caught me off guard. But then once, well, as soon as I said the boogeyman too, that, you know what, I'm not gonna do with that because I saw the movie and knew. But also from the fact that the UT territory shares a border with the once Burgundy Soviet region. It was not a friendly relationship. Was that someone behind me just now? I saw a fake. Okay. The Nilhousians were more aggressive people. They looked slave. They took slaves and had Utian slaves, and there was a direct conflict when the Nilhousian attempt to move up into Uti territory. Historian Sandra Jones, author of being Ute, while the Skinwalker didn't show up in the Ute region, its narrative aspects, not to mention the animistry towards wearing the halo, made it an ideal name for a land that seems cursed by all manner of ungodly horror. The markers are nasty on the nastiest of the nasty, and the Soviets and the very presence of the reason seems to root that reason's soul and turn bitter and cold. I don't even know if I can do an outro. That was a freaking orb. Probably one of the biggest I ever saw in this house for a long time. Is there anyone here? If there's anyone here, can you make a sign? There's something here. And it's not because I just did that. There was something here all day, but it didn't really have a feeling until recently. Why does my computer and camera keep getting lighter and brighter? Probably from the lights. But I really need to do a paranormal investigation in my house. With cameras and all the equipment. But anyway, if you were able to go to Skinwalker Ranch to research and see any of these incidences happen, would you? If it was legal. Me, I would go in a heartbeat. If I could. Anyway, thank you for watching my channel and videos. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I am Haunted Girl, and this is my channel. I'll spook you later. Until next time, pleasant dreams.